G'day everybody! It is Teacher Andrew back with you today, and it's Sunday! You gotta love Sunday mornings after classes. It's Sunday morning for VIPKID teachers is the new Friday night, my friends. This is a great time of day and a great day. We have Frenzy tonight. That is always fun to take a look at how our schedules are going to look at for the next couple weeks out. So you gotta love Sunday mornings and Sunday nights. My favorite day of the week nowadays. Today I want to go into a couple of things. So I want to give first an update on where things are at for me. And second, I want to get into, I've sort of summarized my top 5 tips. Or I've summarized all my tips and I said these are my top 5 best things that are delivering me the most student bookings, or at least in my opinion, and I've gotten some feedback from parents too, which confirms some of the things that I'll mention. So that's what I want to get into today. So first, let's take a look at where I'm at. So as I mentioned, in November, I had a big whopping 29 bookings in November. In December, I can see obviously where I'm at right now. We do still have 2 more days. As of right now, I have 111 classes taught for the month of December. So I'm going to need a Christmas miracle to get into the 129 that I mentioned as my goal. So probably it's going to be a wah, 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 not going to make it. I have so far, I can see what I have booked for the next couple of days. I have 9 classes, so I may pick up a couple between now and the new year, or now and New Year's Eve, but we're gonna fall a little short, unfortunately. But we're not gonna make excuses, so we're just gonna sit with what I likely will have, and let's just call it 120. That's how many I have booked so far as of today, including the next couple of days. So we may hit a couple more than that, but whatever, we're not going to hit the 129. Going forward, in January, I can already see here for next week, I've got 43 bookings. We have the Chinese New Year to sort of wrap our heads around. I don't know how that's going to work. I'm seeing that, sometimes it's not too bad because kids are off school and they're traveling or whatever. So it's new to me. I think we're still going to hit, I hope for that week, the 20 to 30 classes. That's sort of what I'm seeing, is that maybe people are hitting 3/4 of what they would usually hit. So that's what I'm trying to project. So for the month of January, we're going to hit, no excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to hit 150. That's what I'm going to hit. I'm going for 150 in January. And like I mentioned in a prior video, I'm not at my 220 yet, but things are moving in the right direction and we need to keep that momentum going. So that's where things are at for me, or at least where I'm seeing here as well in the next month or so. As you can see, I'm pulling the old JoJo. I don't know if you've been to any of his classes before, or seminars or workshops I should say, but he likes to wear the old headphones around the shoulder and talk like that. So let's give it a go with the hat. It's a much better fit, so let's try with that. Going back to on topic here, squirrel, I'm going to go into my top 5 things that are working for me that I think is delivering me the most bookings. So I'll start off with the least important and work my way up to the top, and wait and see what I have as my top 1. You will not be able to guess it in a million years, but this is helping me big time in every class. So the 5th one, before class, and I've just started doing this in the last week or so, using that couple of minutes that you have, and sometimes, yes, I know you're rushing into class and you don't have this time, or the student isn't there. I understand that. But if the student is there and you've got a couple of minutes before class on maybe the introductory screen, or even go over into the blank screen, just start putting hello and whatever their name is and a smiley face. Start drawing stuff. This is just a great icebreaker to get those walls to come down with the student, especially the new student, before you even start class. You've won them over a bit, and it just helps with the overall atmosphere of the class if you're able to do this. Now, some students, they don't care, they don't really participate, but most, they at least wonder, like, what are you writing? What are you trying to draw? You get a few smiles from people. It's worth your time and effort to try and do that. And with your existing students too. Like, this is a great way. They start smiling right before class starts. Maybe they've had a terrible day, and that's just a way to light them up a little bit before class. So that's number 5. Number 4, personalize everything possible. So what I mean by that is what I do right off the start of class is I put hello and I write down their name, like I mentioned, get them to spell it out for me if they can. I'll also go and just try and get to know them. So I'll ask them questions to figure out some information from them. What is their favorite sport? What instrument do they play? What did they do today? Something that I can take and then either put in the feedback or put in my little notes on the VIPKID portal to remember for next time. Something that I can then associate them with and just bring that up so that they can see that I'm taking an interest in them, which I am. I'm taking a genuine interest in them. So let them see that. And I mentioned about feedback too. Like, I don't use the feedback panda. I personalize that feedback as much as possible, because that is the last thing the parents will see before they rebook with anyone, or at least with me. So I want to make sure that last impression that they've had before they're rebooking or booking with someone else potentially is a good one with me. And when you use or when you do your feedback, what I've been doing, especially because I do have some cutout statements that I have, like when I ask for feedback, or a couple of things, like I do have some templates for that, and I will personalize it, of course, but make sure you go into WordPerfect, put that in there, and search for the previous child's name that you taught, because if that is still in there, you are likely not going to get booked again because you left a different kid's name in there. So just make sure, if you do use little templates, which I do, I use little mini templates that I customize, but make sure that the name from the prior class of the student is not in there. So I just do a search on Word and just make sure that whoever I taught, that name is no longer in there, because it's easy to miss when you're customizing lots. So that's just a little tip for personalizing the feedback. The third one, and again, the rewards. I will mention this, but the rewards are so vitally important, especially for those level 3s and 4s and up. Like, they don't need any more lame rewards. They need stuff that makes them think. They need stuff that is interactive. And when you can do this, I don't care how bad of a lesson that you taught, if you gave them a good reward, they're probably going to go back to their parents and want to go in that because it was fun. Sometimes it can be educational. Sometimes it's just for entertainment, as a break for them. But those rewards are so vitally important. Spend the hours that you need to get good rewards. Arguably, my rewards could be my number one reason on why things are moving in the right direction. Because mom and dad are hearing after the class, I think, that they want to go back because my reward system is something fun for them to do. And like I mentioned before, I think that's what the kids are communicating to parents, is they're more so talking about how lame the reward was or how good it was on whether they should go back with that teacher. Because I bet you mom and dad are asking them, hey, little Bow Bow, do you want to go back with this teacher or not? They may not give a reason why. They may just say yes or no, thinking back to the reward system. So make sure the reward system is right on par. I've got some examples of rewards that I use in my classroom in prior videos. I just did a different one there last night. This one right here you can use. I just have them to try and find the same thing. So I've got 8 different numbers here, and 4 of them are the same. So they're just trying to do like that memory matching game. And this is great for the younger levels too, because this helps them differentiate between what is the same and what is different. So, and it's great for older kids too. I had an 11-year-old this morning playing it. She loved it. So find good rewards. Number 2, And I've gotten this back a few times in feedback from parents, is that I'm encouraging. So obviously that is very important to them, is that you encourage, encourage, encourage. Every slide, you're encouraging them. You're saying, hey, this is going to be difficult. Can you give this a try? And if they do it, just really praise them up for it. And I don't mean to put on a big dramatic show. Like, be genuine. Like, this is tough. They're learning a new language. Think of it if you're trying to learn Mandarin. Like, what a nightmare that would be to try and learn that language. And it's no different than trying to learn English. So praise them up big time for it. And this is what I'm getting back, especially from the parents where their kids are struggling a little bit, is that they're often the ones leaving me feedback because they appreciate that I am encouraging, that the kid is not getting maybe as frustrated with English with me because I'm helping that process a little bit. So encourage, encourage, encourage. So important. And my number one is stand up in class. This has made such a huge difference for me. I sat for the first bit and then I started standing, and I looked back at my videos, and it's honestly, it's night and day. What does standing up in classroom do for me? One, my body language is so much better. So I'm able just to express myself so much better. And number two, I have got so much more energy, or at least I'm communicating that energy so much more effectively. And yes, sitting down I think is easier. It's easier in a lot of different ways, but standing up, it makes the lesson so much better for the child. It really does. And you don't understand this until maybe you see yourself standing up as compared to sitting, where I looked at some of my videos and could see the extreme contrast of the two. So find a way to stand up. I just use like a TV table. That's what I use, just to bring it up to the eye level. And like I mentioned, I do my feedback sitting down. So for those classes that you can stand up, try and stand up, because it does. It really makes such a huge difference in terms of your overall energy level. And the parents consistently come back and say they want energy. So this obviously is important to them, and especially when we're teaching at such an early time in the morning, we need to find ways to give us energy that are healthy. So standing up is a good way to do that. So anyways, that's on my number one, which is stand up. This, of course, assumes the vitally components, or the components are also in there of IT needs to be good. Go out and get an external webcam. Go back and take a look at some of my prior videos. Look at how crappy of a presentation it was before, and then see my videos now and see how much better the external webcam has made things. So IT needs to be good. This also assumes your bio needs to be great. I've shrunken my bio down the last little bit. I've taken out some of the fluff, like where I live now. Like, they don't care about that. I don't even say hi anymore. I just cut right into it, because I figure the parents wants to read something fast. There's so many different bios. If the shorter it is, the more likely it's going to get read. And once they read my bio, I think I've got them. With my bio and my video, I've got them. So that's what I've done with my bio recently. And of course, make sure that it translates well into Mandarin and translates back. Make sure that says exactly what you want. That is vitally important also. Your picture, that has to be there. Without being said, it needs to be professional. Your main profile picture, it needs to be professional. Your video, it needs to be eye-catching. So I've mentioned what I've done in my video. It needs to be something that the parents will look at, and without even hitting play, they want to play it. So whatever that you can do to make that that little snapshot right off the start to be appealing, do it. And backgrounds, like I mentioned before, your background needs to be colorful. You can't get that map of the world white and black or whatever, or even if it's colorful, like it's boring. get something better, spend some money, even if you have to spend $100, honestly, on getting, and you don't have to. You can do a perfectly good background by going to the dollar store and spending $20. I'm convinced in that. But even if you did have to spend $100, like if you get one extra student that stays with you and books all year with you because of that background, like that's a lot of money. That's like, I don't know, 700 Canadian dollars or thereabouts for that. So think of it as an investment. Everything you do, think of it as an investment. I just need to get one kid for, a few weeks to make this pay off. And it doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't. It doesn't take a lot of money to make that work. But that is the last vitally thing that needs to be there, is your background. So that is where I'm at right now. Like I mentioned, it's been a good month. Let's hope for a good start to 2020. Clear vision in 2020. We're going to have a good year. And best of luck in your teaching. And the frenzy tonight, which is 12 hours or 11 hours away. Best of luck, and talk to you soon. Bye.